Hey, if you guys are looking to do an entire boat and you want to see how to do an entire boat, I've got 300 plus videos that show all that. This year, I thought I'd just kind of focus on some little stuff. So if you don't mind, here's some little stuff. Cheers. Thanks for watching.
This is going to be kind of loud. It's going to go long. I'm not going to stop until I get to the end. I'm not going to talk to you. So if you feel weird about that, I'm sorry. There's space for... Oh.
And Terry, this is for you. I know you're curious. It's still here. I haven't done anything with it. The other side is completely untouched and looks just as ugly as you can imagine. So I haven't forgotten. It's just winter happened and I had to slow down everything. So getting back into it, this is yuck. Anyway, let's get into what we're looking at today. All right, well, here we are. Let me show you what this looked like with Super Duty. Here's the reflection and the color. It's not terrible. It's actually pretty good for Super Duty. And then we skip over to this area. This area has the heavy cut and the perfected added to the mix, which gives it a little bit shinier, poppier finish. And you do definitely, whenever you've got a boat that sits in the water, especially one where you've already seen the neglect in the waterline, you're going to want to go really, really hard down here for a number of reasons. One, you got to get rid of that oxidation, and it's deep. Two, this boat's going back in the water, and it's going to be treated the same way as it was before you got it. I'm speaking like you're a detailer watching this, so knowing that this is going to go back in the water, knowing that he's probably going to use the wrong stuff to clean this scum line, I am going to go hard on this area and get it as smooth and as flat as I possibly can, getting rid of all the oxidation and giving the wax that I put on there, Fire Glaze Plus, the most potential to bond and have a good place to anchor itself. If you do that, then this white thing doesn't come back instantly in the next couple months. Also, the scum line will be a lot easier to clean, and you'll look like an amazing detailer because the customer will be like, wow, I've never seen stuff come off my boat like that. And you can ask, what'd you do to my boat? There's really not much to talk about. I've already played with this boat a little bit. We've got some Super Duty on this side, working my way forward. Thought maybe I would show you how this goes. This is really bad oxidation. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. Sorry for the jiggliness of the camera. Yeah, this is some nasty stuff. And while, yeah, you could get through it with sanding, I don't see the point. This goes pretty quick. You're going to want a wool pad, double-sided wool pad on a rotary buffer. And let's see, this is how this goes. So I've already slightly used this side of the pad. I'm going to use it again. To do that, I'm just going to rough it up a little bit. You can see all the dust flying off. That's good enough. Good enough for the girls I date. All right, throw a little bit of this on there. We're going to be doing quite a bit, and I want to kill this bottle, so. Ta-da, killed it. All right, first things first, we're going to spread this out. I'm going to cover the area that I'm working on. Then I'm going to work on my edges. Then I'm going to work on the middles. I might not talk a lot throughout this. It's just kind of my nature. I will, however, take some of the dust off of your lens right there. That work? Okay. So can you still see? Yeah, you're good enough. All right. Spreading, edges, middles. So first is first. Spreading. It's pretty simple. Light tap to the trigger. Okay, so you see, everything's been covered. Now we're going to start on our edges. There's an edge. All right. Ta-da! All right, here's another edge.
That cleaned up nice. Let's work on the middle. So for this, I do a little cross cutting. I use the top portion of the buffer, either this side or this side. So I come down, go up, go down, go up, down, Now here's typically where I would go flat and just kind of blend this all together, which I'm still going to do, but I can see things in the surface you might not be able to. I'm seeing some speckling, looks like freckles. I know that that was in the gel coat before I got here. So it's still in there and I can see it, which tells me that I'm going to have to do at least one more pass with Super Duty. But let's see what this can look like just from what we did. To do that, I'm going to switch over to a clean side of the pad. You'll notice we did take off a little bit of boat. This side's clean, so I'm just going to go through the motions. Yeah, I've got a little bit here, a little there, section there, a little bit there, a little bit right there. It's okay. This boat was thoroughly neglected for like 20 years, so it's going to take something to get through it. The something is over there in the back of my truck, so let me go grab that. I will be right back. It's Super Duty, in case you were wondering. All right, I've got more Super Duty, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and spur out my dirty side of the pad. It won't get it super clean, just cleaner. Okay. Here we go. By the way, on Super Duty, they've changed the formulation a little bit. If you open a can or a bottle and it smells a little bit like ammonia or pine sol, that's the old stuff. The new stuff smells a little bit like fingernail polish remover. So one of the reasons I make sure to cover the entire boat is because these chemicals have a tendency to soften up gel coat a little bit and make this process a little bit easier. So as it's sitting there, it's doing something, even if it doesn't look like it.
I also take notice of the fact that I'm going slow throughout most of this process. In fact, for up until this point entirely, I've gone 600 RPM, the slowest that this machine goes. A lot of people see what I do in my past videos and they think, oh, I want to go fast like that guy did. Don't. I should have a long time ago said don't. I go fast because I've been doing this for as long as some of your kids have been on the planet. And I show off a little bit. You guys should go slow until you get good and confident enough in your work, in your control to be able to do whatever it is you want to do. But initially, going slow works, and I wanted to show that. So you might think that this costs me a little bit of time. I assure you, it's just like speeding in real life. If you're in a city, it really saves you no time at all. If you're on a cross-country cruise, you can save like an hour or two, maybe 3, sometimes 8. If you're having fun, 15. Anyway, just go slow.
Both versions of Super Duty work just fine. I'm just saying that it's just a curiosity. If you find one that smells like, a floor cleaner, that's the old stuff. If you find one that smells like fingernail polish, that's the new stuff. I don't know why I'm telling you that. Shut up. All right, sorry for the snot bomb. So what am I doing while I'm doing this, and what am I looking for? A lot of it is kind of hidden from you. I can see on the top edge and the bottom edge the shine that I'm able to get with the amount of time that I'm putting on those. So these are really easy to do. You can focus a lot of the pressure of the buffer right up in this corner, and when you're rolling off an edge like this, it's really easy to put a lot of the effort right on that edge. So this gives me an indication of what's possible with this and this and this on this. And then what I try to do is replicate the amount of time and effort that I put into the bottom and the top here in the middle. So what am I looking for? The little freckles that I was seeing before, I don't see them. The color's uniform from one place to the other, so that's all working out for me. I like that. After this, it's just kind of clearing off this to see what I got underneath. So for that, I go flat, although I'm seeing it. There's a little scratch right there. And I want to try to see if I can't yank that out, or at least pull it out substantially. So give me a second as this drips all over the guy's trailer. Alright, well I got about a third of it out. I still got heavy cut to come behind this with perfected, so we've got a couple more tries to get that out. So now I just go flat and try to smooth this out and see what I got going on underneath this. Remember these covers? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you see this, you might think, oh, I should do that. Don't. Just don't. Trust me, until you get to the point where you would consider yourself pretty good, just don't. It's safer for you, the boat, and everybody involved. Trust me, I've actually seen grown men knock themselves out with the buffer going this fast. You know, the cord and it can do some amazing things. Gyroscopes and blah blah blah, just don't. Go slow. If you have to, up to 1,000 RPM, no faster. There's no point. You don't have to melt the plastic of the boat. It's a myth. All right, I was traveling, moving the buffer a little bit faster than I want you to, unless you're really good. And by really good, I mean you've been doing this so long that you don't expect that you're going to smack yourself in the face or break something off a boat. Keep it down about 600, maybe 800, no faster than 1,000 RPMs, okay? There's no need. I've got videos where I show that this doesn't go any faster by going faster. It's just more comfortable for me because I've been doing it for so long. So I've got a clean side of the pad now. I'm going to just go through the motions at the slowest speed. Yay. Cool. All right, you probably want to take a look at that. Not perfect, but again, Super Duty. So this is all going to be hit again with heavy cut and perfect it. So I don't have to make it perfect. I just have to break the big nasty edges down off of this crap so that I can use the other compounds to get into it a little bit tighter. Anyway, I'm going to finish up the rest of this hull, working my way up to the bow. I'll take off that registration number, or at least the state registration number, because now we're into 2025, so time to get one of those. When I finish this with Super Duty, I'll come back and maybe show you what it's like with the heavy cut and the perfected. But until then, hang out, grab a beer. I'm going to do the same. See you in a bit. As I was moving up forward, I noticed, and you probably see the same thing, you can see there's an 8 and a 6 and a 1 and a 3 and an R and a W. These are all technically burned into the boat. Now, the owner put some new registration numbers on, but in order for me to grind out the ghosted letters, I mean, I'm going to melt his decals off. So I called him up and told him, you know, this is the deal. If you want it looking good, I've got to do some things. You got to break some eggs to make some omelets. And he said, yeah, if you're going to have to burn through my letters, just pull them off now and we'll get new ones. So I've given him the option of using the cobalt font in a chrome decal. We'll see if he goes with that or if he buys his own. I really don't care one way or the other, although I like the chrome decal, if I'm being honest. Anyway, so I've pulled off his state registration. I'll be pulling off the rest of these letters. When I get into this area, as you can see, we've gotten pretty far on this hull. When I get up to this area, I will just be cleaning up some residue from some letters. After that, it should go fairly quick. The rest of the hull doesn't look like it'll need Super Duty. I think I'll probably stop right about here with the Super Duty. Everything up here can have heavy cut and perfected. Yikes, do not want to get up there. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a heads up as to what you're potentially going to see if you see this in a little bit, why the numbers and letters have been taken off. That's why. All right, let me get back into this. All right, well, let's take a look at this one more time just so you guys get a sense of what it looked like before. Bloop. All right. Now, this is a boat that, for the most part, when I saw it, I thought, yeah, this would be a great beginning of season or end of season boat. I probably shouldn't have started with this one. Although, to be fair, the Giant Chaparral was my first boat. Why are you looking at me? Huh. So the Chaparral was my first boat of the season. Another one of those definite weekend warrior projects. Okay, so what I've got going on here, Super Duty and heavy cut have already been done. I've still got to do the perfected EXAC. I also have this little area underneath the white stripe that I'm just going to grab a box and sit here and just go to town. And mentally, I'm not there yet. So when I get tired and I just want to sit, that's what I'll do. Okay, so as I said before, this has been hit with Super Duty and heavy cut. This top part above the white line took about 3 hours, both compounds. I'm still going to hit it one more time with perfected EXAC. That goes pretty quick. I'll probably show you what that looks like. Just, it goes pretty quick. You're compounding, but you're more going through the motions than anything. And the reflection probably bumps up another 10 to 15%. And I know that doesn't seem like a lot considering that this is pretty shiny as it is. But that extra 10 to 15% can make your wax or whatever you put on this thing last an entire season longer. So why not? Also, if I'm going to put fire glaze on this, I want the best surface possible. So I'm going to put fire glaze on it. That said, I'll probably set you up over here in the corner and I will do some perfected EXAC. And when you see this boat again, this side of the hull will be for the most part done. Thanks. I'll hang out for a little bit. 1 second. All right, this is going to be kind of loud. It's going to go long. I'm not going to stop until I get to the end. I'm not going to talk to you. So if you feel weird about that, I'm sorry. There's space for... Oh. I'm just checking to make sure the door of my car isn't slamming you and so you can't see anything. Tell you what, I'll bump you one more. Okay, so perfected EXAC, this is 36060. Put it right on the pad. Do my thing.
I'll meet you at the boat launch in about 10 minutes. All right, bye. You're a fucking magician.
It's coming.
We're gonna play hooky and go get some beers in the patio at Buddy's. You wanna join? Anyways, it's tough. I'll see you.
Don't lock up.
All right. Thank you, brother.
See you in a bit. You guys feeling left out? All the way down here. Tell you what, I'll move you up. See some progress. I doubt you can tell the difference quite yet until I wipe it off, but you know, it's looking all right. And if you've noticed, this doesn't take all that long. In other words, the Super Duty, the heavy cut, yeah, that took a little bit of time. Once you get to the perfected stage, you're basically just going through the motions. So you don't have to work really, really hard. You just have to be there and remember what it is. Wow, you're zoomed in. I should change that. Womp. All right, there you go. That's all you really need to see. The back of my head in front of this window. Here we go. And if you're wondering, yes, I will eventually get the bottom white. Right now, no, because I'm old and tired, and it's like almost 5 o'clock. And I just got invited to beers at a bar. So, you know, priorities. Priorities. All right, we don't have very much to go. This doesn't take all that much, so I'm going to be able to spread this out almost the entire area. Nope, the entire area. Cool, cool. All right, here we go. God, she almost looks black. Okay. I'm going to do a little wipey wipe. I don't know if you need to see this, but you're here, so. I mean, yeah, you're good. There you go. Oh, sorry, I forgot all about you. All right, well, here you go. Again, I've got some work to do underneath the swim step up here, so don't worry about anything that's under there. Just focus on this. Obviously, I'm trying to get my watch to reflect off of this, but I'm having a difficult time because I'm an idiot. Oh my God, come on. There you go. So FYI, my watch is a sapphire crystal, so it's very shiny. It's not plastic, and it's flat, so it's giving you kind of a reflection of the sun, just in a really small place. So again, no holograms, no swirls, just a dot of light. Yeah, she almost looks black from this direction. Anyway, the very next step on this is to wash this side of the hull down. And once that's done, I'll put some protectant on there. Thank you. One more. Sometimes I like to let them out, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so tomorrow I'll wash this down, put a protectant on there, Fire Glaze Plus. You could use any, decent boat wax that you want, but that's the next step. And then I've got, again, underneath that little mark, and then up top, this will be a project. This will probably take another couple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 days, 5 days. I don't know. Projects like this make me wake up late. You know what I mean? Like, I get up and I'm like, oh, that boat again. So sometimes it takes me a while to motivate. But if you want to see, once again, what this looked like before, well, this is her. But this is the new her. I kind of like the new her better. Although the old her took a lot less maintenance, so maybe I'm mistaken there. All right. Let's see what time it is. It looks good. This is in the shade, so it's kind of crappy for me to show it, but she's coming out really nice. And again, I've still got some stuff to go down here, and I'll work on that later, and a little bit to go up in here. And then, yeah, the entire top side. Good God. All right, so if you had a boat and it looked like this, I can say, if you're not a professional, this side will take up your entire weekend. Anyway, I'm done talking. I need a beer. So it was nice chatting with you guys. I appreciate your time. Hang out, subscribe, give me an old thumbs up. That's always cool to see. Also, if you got any questions or you have a comment, lay it out in the comment section. I don't mind. I usually answer almost everybody. In fact, I'll go ahead and say I answer everybody. So if you have a question or a comment, that'd be a great place to put it. I'm going to wrap up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Pieces, yo.
I affectionately use the term tomorrow rather loosely. I'll catch you next time. How's that? Thanks for watching. I appreciate your patience. Cheers.